בעזרת השם. פרק י"א, פסוק כ"ב. נזם זהב באף חזיר. A golden nose ring on the nose of a hazir, of a pork. Yeah. אישה יפה ושרת טעם. It's like a beautiful woman that has no taste. Yeah, it's like something beautiful without any taste. So too, it's like, why would you put an expensive and beautiful gold earring or nose ring on the nose of an animal, of a pork? It says the Gaon that Shlomo HaMelech picked this animal because the Chachamim tell us that this animal has something very specific. Yeah, its feet are split. How do you call it? Yes, split. Okay.
Hooves.
Yes, hooves, which is a sign of kashrut. Yet he doesn't ma'aligera, right? He doesn't chew and bring it down and bring it back up like the cow does. So what does he do? Because he wants to show that he's kasher. The Midrash says that when the animal sits, it puts its legs in front, showcasing his hooves that are split. But in reality, when he wants to start and feed himself, he's going to put his nose inside the garbage, inside the dirt, to try to bring out his food, those nuts or whatever he eats. That's the interesting, let's say, behavior of the chazir. The chazir on one end wants to show off that he's kasher, but yet when he needs to feed, he exposes its true nature, which is to put his nose and look for the food in the dirt and the dirty places. So why put a golden ring on it on that nose? So too is a woman that doesn't have time, that doesn't have taste, and we're going to understand what woman are we talking about, and what does sarat ta'am mean. So let's do it like this. The nefesh ha'adam is the makor, is the source of the midot of a person. The midot are imbibed, injected in the nefesh. But the person has also, above that nefesh, besides that nefesh, he has also what is called the sechel, the intellect. Who is an isha yafa? Isha yafa is someone that knows how to bring out the nefesh hasechli, right? Use his intellect and pair his intellect with the nefesh of the midot. This is this is isha yafa. When the person behaves with his sechel, so now his actions are nice. The isha in this case is the nefesh. When a nefesh is not only a nefesh that reacts because of the midot instinctively, but instead through the intellect and the knowledge and proper analysis, it brings yofi, it brings beauty to the person, to that nefesh. Now says the Gaon, the mar'eh, the expression, the look of an individual is influenced by his heart, by his emotions. If you are happy inside, your face is going to be happy. If you're sad, your face is going to be show that you're sad. If you're scared, your face is going to show that you're scared. So we see that the mar'eh, that the look of the window is really dependent on the heart of the person. If so, the more sechel you impact or you mix and you involve with your heart, with your midot, and by default, the more beautiful you become. The more your mar'eh, the more your look becomes sophisticated, elevated, appreciated. So says the Gaon, now, a person has really three facets of avodah where he has to use his sechel. He has to use his sechel with his midot. He has to use his sechel with his actions, with doing midot, right? When he does mitzvot, and he has to use his sechel with Torah when he learns Torah. These are the three facets where the sechel shines and takes precedence in the essence of a person. And he says those are they are categorized as like this: Tov, Arev, and Mo'il. These are the actions, right? Tov, it says the Gaon is the mitzvot. He brings a pasuk, Amru tzaddik kitov. When you're tzaddik, when you do mitzvot, kitov, you're called tov. Arev, sweet. It says the Gaon is the midot. Because the midot are called matok, they're called sweet. And the Zohar refers to the midot of HaKadosh Baruch Hu as metiko de malka, the sweetness of the king. And that's how the Zohar refers to when he talks about midot of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, metiko de malka. So that's, and what is sweet is arev. the midot. Finally, mo'il, relevant, something that helps and is of substance, is the Torah. It's the Torah Kedusha. So says the Gaon, we have a pasuk in Yeshaya that says like this: Hevea omrim lera, about those who say lera tov veletov ra. What is good is bad, and what is bad is good. Samim choshech laor, and they bring darkness, obscurity to light, and light to the obscurity. Vesamim lemar matok ulematok mar, and they turn the sweet into bitter and the bitter into sweet. These are people that obviously have everything upside down. Now, if you pay attention to the three categories, to the tov, to the arev, and to the mo'il, it's rashi tevot ta'am. And that's exactly isha yafa vesarat ta'am, a beautiful wife that doesn't have ta'am, that doesn't have lechawa taste. But what it really means, it doesn't have tov, it doesn't have arev, and it doesn't have mo'il. It doesn't, right? So what does that mean? It doesn't have mitzvot, it doesn't have midot, and it doesn't have Torah. But yet she's still a Isha Yafa. How can that be? Yes.
Is it talking physically or?
No. No. We're not
So
here. We're not talking about. We're not talking really about a woman. Exactly. We haven't. We're talking about the nefesh of an individual. That's the Isha, and that nefesh. Okay. Yet she's Yafa, and we said that who is Isha Yafa? It's a nefesh that has the sechel involved with the nefesh of the midot. So on one hand, you have an Isha Yafa, but on the other hand, she is Sarat Ta'am. It's a oxymoron. And how can that work? Yes? It doesn't add up. So he says again the following. He says, Come Shlomo HaMelech to teach us an incredible lesson. That you may have sechel, and you may have midot. But if you don't have mitzvot, if you don't have actions, ma'asim, then your lack of actions will have an impact on your sechel and on your midot. It says the Gaon that the most important involvement of an individual in his growth is the actions that he actually does. It's the mitzvot. If you don't do actions, you will be a Isha Yafa, but you will be Sarat Ta'am. At the end, you will not have those qualities. Why? Because you're missing the Ikar. The Ikar is the action. And not only that you're missing in action, but your lack of action turns, says Yeshaya, the good into bad and the bad into good. You bring the choshech, darkness is light, light is darkness. Sweet is bitter, bitter is sweet. You live a life where everything is upside down, where nothing really is emet and makes sense. Why? Says the Gaon, because what anchors the potential is your actions. Your chokhmah, your sechel is a potential. Your midot is a potential. Those are the nefesh. It's what you don't see. What do you see? What is the concrete and real aspect of you? Is your actions, is what you do. So if you cannot translate a potential into reality, then everything that you see will be in potential. So you will see things in a way that doesn't have the clarity of the emet, of the reality. So if you don't have the clarity of the reality, then the good can be bad, the bad can be good, light can be darkness, darkness can be light, sweet can be bitter, and bitter can be sweet. And he says this is what Shlomo HaMelech refers to when he talks about the Chazir. The Chazir, what does he do? He shows off his feet, his house, who's showing, look, potentially I'm kasher. But when it comes to act and eat, his behavior is a behavior of a pork. It's a behavior of a Chazir. What does he do? What he will do? He puts his nose directly in the garbage with the Nezem Zahav, with the golden ring, the golden thing. Everything goes into the garbage. And says the Gaon that what is the nose? What is the nose representing? The nose represents the Ruach Chochmah. Like it says in the Pasuk, Vayipach be'apav nishmat hayim vayehi adam nefesh haya. Vayipach be'apav, in his af. That's why Shlomo HaMelech says, Nezem Zahav be'af Hazir. So the place where HaKadosh Baruch Hu injected the Chochmayim, the Neshamayim, that same place goes into the garbage. Says the Shlomo HaMelech, the af that you orn with gold, your behavior puts it in the garbage, puts it in the dirt. And because of that, because the actions do not follow, the chokhmah becomes contaminated, the midot become contaminated. And this is a big, big statement to all those who believe that it's, the Avodat Hashem is all spiritual. It's all about emotions and ideologies but nothing practical. Yes, this pasuk comes to consolidate and explain the importance of the action and how this really gives ta'am to life. This really gives the proper value to the chokhmah and to the midot. Any questions?
Limud Torah is like the fundamental action would be in the mitzvot.
Mitzvot. The mitzvot.
But Limud Torah keneged kulam.
Yes, but you cannot be only.
No, not only.
I can. If it's only. Why Talmud Torah keneged kulam? You need to learn, because the more you learn, the more you can practice. Yes? But if you don't learn, how can you practice? Vadai, that it's the ikar. But at the end, what gives structure to all of it? It's the actions. Talmid Chacham she'en bo da'at, nevela tova imenu. Chachamim say in the Gemara, yeah, that the Talmid Chacham that doesn't have da'at, corpse of an animal has more value than him. And we explained why. Now, it's not Talmid Chacham of our definition of Talmid Chacham. That's Talmid Chacham in the time of the Gemara. Shen bo da'at. So Talmid Chacham that doesn't know how to apply practically his chokhmah, it's a corpse. What's a corpse? A corpse is a shell, but it's dead. There's nothing can come out of it. So we find that you can be intellectually engaged, theoretically, yeah, and know a lot, but when it comes to action, the person behaves like an animal. He doesn't know how to turn it into practical life behavior. We mentioned also many times about Hur, the grandfather of Betzalel, that stood right against the Erev Rav and told them that you cannot do the Avodah Zarah, Egel Azav. What happened to him? They slaughtered him. They killed him. The Midrash tells us that how did he identify the Erev Rav? Ketu'e tzavare atem. You are people with a cut throat. What does that mean? I mean, you cannot connect the sechel with the heart. You don't know how to do. Now, why are you, look, a melech זה מוח, לב, כבד. מוח, lev, כבד. There is a process. Yes, you feed the chokhmah so that the chokhmah can influence the midot, so that this can turn into actions. But at the end, what gives structure to everything, it's the actions, not the potential. Did I clarify it? No. Next pasuk. Ta'avat tzaddikim ach tov. The desire of the tzaddikim is only good. Tigvad reshaim, and the hope of the reshaim, ayevra. Says the Gaon. We've addressed that there are three facets into the application of the sechel. Yes? Ta'am. We call it ta'am, right? Tov, mitzvot. Arev, sweet, midot. Mo'il, substantial and meaningful, Torah. Ta'am. Says the Gaon, Ta'avat tzadikim ach tov. What does that mean? The ta'ava, the desire of tzaddikim, is only focused on the what? On the tov. What is the tov that we said?
The mitzvot.
Mitzvot. It's the tov is the mitzvot. The tzaddikim, their focus are only on the mitzvot. What does that mean? What's with the midot? What's with the Torah? What's with the mo'in? And he says, the tzaddikim enam mitavim, they don't have desire. Lo ledavar ha'arev, not to what is sweet, velo ledavar ha'mo'in, and not to what is meaningful. אלא דבר שהוא טוב בעצם, only what is in essence good. And what are these? He says, those are the mitzvot. Umadrichim, and he says, and he channeled, the tzaddikim channel their Torah and their mitzvot and their midot towards the mitzvot. The tzaddikim understood that essentially potential is great, but this is not what will define me. This is not what that's not my purpose in this world. My purpose in this world are results, actions. So I need to make sure that I don't get lost in translation and lose myself in ideologies and emotions and tachlis live in an anan, in a cloud that does not translate into anything. The tzaddik, not only that he, now pay attention, we're not talking about the erech, about the importance. We're talking about the ta'ara, the desire. The tzaddik, his desire is to apply everything that he learns. I want to be able to express a midah that I work on. I want to be able to do a mitzvah based on the Torah that I've learned. And that's just what Matai Yagiu Maasai Lemaaseh Avotai Avraham, Yitzchak veYaakov. Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov revealed midot in the world through their behavior, right? The actions of Avraham revealed to the world the midat hesed. The action of Yitzchak revealed to the world the midat gevurah. The actions of Yaakov revealed to the world the midat emet. מתי יגיעו מעשיי למעשה אבותיי אברהם, יצחק ויעקב? When will my actions will rise to the action of Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov? Meaning, when, that's the ta'ava of the tzaddik. When will I be able also, through my actions, to reveal the power of the midah, to reveal the power of the chokhmah? This frames perfectly the focus of our work and our efforts daily. Yes, we learn Torah, we work on our midot, but miyad, right away, what do I want? I want to be able to apply it. I want to be able to do mitzvot with it. However, the Reshaim, Tikvat Reshaim, the hope of the saying, Evra, what do they want? Evra has in it the letters Arev, sweet. They want Olam Hazeh, they want sweetness. Right away. That, and what is Arev? Is Midot, nachon? What does the Reshaim want? They want to enjoy their midot. They don't want structure. They don't want sechel. זה התקווה שלהם. Their hope. How am I going to satisfy my midot? But in the Evra, there's also the word avera, the sin. They're constantly sinning to satisfy, because they need to satisfy their midot, their desires. But what is the problem? Is that Shlomo HaMelech uses a key word. He uses the word tikvat reshaim. The tikva. Tikva is the hope. The hope of the Rasha is that by living a life where he satisfies his midot, his sins, he will get to it. But a tikva is a hope, meaning that they're always hoping to satisfy, but actually they never do satisfy. So they're chasing a ghost that that they're never gonna find. So the tzaddik and the rasha both are expecting something, looking forward to something. The tzaddik is looking forward, his ta'ava, his desire to what? To do mitzvot. So it's the opportunity to express and apply everything that he's learned and what he is. Versus the rasha, he's expecting, he's hoping for something to come in, to satisfy from within. So the rasha, everything revolves around him and how he satisfies himself, versus the tzaddik, which is exactly the opposite, is bringing out the potential out through his actions and his mitzvot. How will I express and show what I've learned and apply it? So for the tzaddik, the focus is what's around him. For the rasha, the focus is him and everything revolves around him. Any question on that pasuk? יש, יש מפזר ונוסף עוד. You have someone that will give generously, and nosaf od, at the end he has more. Vechosech, and you have the one that holds back. Yes. Miyosher ach lemachsor. He wants to be politically right. And at the end, lemachsor, he ends up losing. So Shlomo HaMelech is coming to address a contradiction, a phenomenon that doesn't make any logical sense. How can it be somebody keeps on giving and he gets more, where the other person he keeps, yes, he chosech, he's saving, he ends up losing. Says the Gaon, you have two types, you have two opposite midot. There's one midah where you have someone that gives, is a vatran. It's okay. I gave, it's okay. It's okay. Vatranut. And then you have the other one that is stingy. He doesn't let go of anything. These are two opposites. Says the Gaon, both of them are not good. It's not good to be too vatran, and it's also not good to be stingy. These are polar opposites. You have to be in the middle. Why? Because we know that even the vatran, even the one that gives generously, Chachamim tell us, don't spend more than a fifth of your fortune.
Are we talking about tzedakah? Are we talking about everything? Matan on everything, chomesh on everything. What can you be specific, please?
Well, if you 1 minute, you'll hear, you'll understand. I know it's an exciting subject. So it says the Gaon as follows. He brings a midrash. He says that once upon a time, there was a man who gave to a ani food during a year of famine, to the point that himself was struggling for his own food with his own family. What did he do? He went to the public place and he would gather the etrogim. People would throw etrogim there. They had nothing to do with etrogim. They used to throw it. And he gathered them. And he asked a favor from somebody to take him on a boat. And he took this etrogim with him. He said, let's see. Maybe that's the only thing I can, the only schora, yes, that I have. Got it for free. Let's see what I can do. The Sfina was supposed to go to a specific location. Ended up, because of a storm, deviate, and they had to stop somewhere for a little bit. The guy, the Ani, that was carrying those etrogim with him, goes into that town where they stopped, and he hears that the king is looking for etrogim. And if there is etrogim, somebody has etrogim, the king will make him wealthy. The guy had a whole bag of etrogim. He had the whole schora, bags and bags of etrogim. He said, I do. He went to the king. He said, how many etrogim do you want? What quality do you want? I have everything. You have etrogim? How can it be? We cannot find one etrog. He's like, look. The king was so happy. He made him uber rich. So the Gaon says, look, sometimes HaKadosh Baruch Hu tests you. B'midat HaTzedakah. It's not the right time. It's difficult. It's complicated. I'm jeopardizing my own comfort level. Says the Gaon, if you're able to give of yourself and be vatran to the point where your level of uncomfort starts scaring you, but you do it with bitachon gamur, with emunah, that because it's the right thing, i.e., go back to the shiur on tzedakah we gave a few shiurim about the outlook of the emet in what tzedakah means. Says the Gaon, and it's not the Gaon, Shlomo HaMelech, says, yesh mefazer ve'nosaf od. At the end, the nosaf od. Not only you get back to what you had, but nosaf od, it keeps on coming. HaKadosh Baruch Hu pays with tremendous wealth. This is what Shlomo HaMelech is coming to teach us. That there are times in life where we are challenged in Midat HaTzedakah, and there's an opportunity that is in front of us, but it's not the right time. When I'll make, I'll give. Right now, I cannot. And if I give now, I'm jeopardizing my own comfort. I can't. Says the Gaon and the Kitvei Yad, the logic is, what's the logic is? You don't give. It's not logical to give. Well, you're in trouble. Now we're going to be both in trouble. How does that help you and me? If you understand that this is an opportunity, that challenge that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is challenging you is an opportunity for growth, and you see with the right lens the emet, ve'nosaf od, says Shlomo HaMelech. You open the gates of beracha to be blessed with what is considered the word odd. Odd is more. It's all about, you get more. It's you enter a dynamic of more. It's a very hard nisayon. The Malbim adds a little twist. He says, how are you going to make more? What is it? Ocus pocus. He says like this. He says, when you give, right? Suddenly your name is out there. Ah, look, he's mefarnes this one, he's mefarnes that one, he's mefarnes this one. So you become hashuv, you become bar samcha, you become somebody of value, of importance for the kal. When the day comes where if chaz v'chala there's the challenge comes, now you can say to Mabim, you can go to these to other rich people and say, listen, the situation is difficult. They're going to give you. They trust you because they know what you do with your money. They know how you were before you're going through that challenge. So you get suddenly the support of other people. That support, says the Malbim, will create a network between you and these people. And by mingling with these people, opportunities will come to make you rich. That's how the Malbim, okay, makes sense to the concept of Venosaf Od. Again, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Gevirim, wealthy people. Shimon decides to help Ani at times of need, crisis in the world, financial distress, no money in the market, but Shimon keeps on financing the Ani to a point where even Shimon has, he's indebted and now he's full of debt. Says the Malbim, Shimon is going to go see Levi. Levi is still well off. And Shimon tells Levi, listen, the situation is difficult. Shimon, and Levi tells Shimon, Shimon, tzaddik ata. Well, you do chesed, you do tzedakah, you've been such a great help to the community. Vadai, what do you need? This is a situation. I need to, get back on my feet, build business again, transact again. Anything, what do you need? Money? No problem. Let's say, what do you do? What are you good at? Tell me about your business. I was in whatever real estate. I need to sell a building. I need to buy a building. Let's do a partnership. Suddenly, because of that distress, yes, Shimon now becomes partner with Levi, and they start doing great things again. And suddenly that partnership brings back Shimon not to where he was, much, much bigger than what he was. This is how HaKadosh Baruch Hu, according to the Malbim, pays the one that has clarity about the importance of tzedakah and has emunah when the time comes. However, the chosech miyosher, and the one that's stingy, particular, calculated, ach lemachsor. This person ends up losing. He's so stingy that he's so focused on keeping that at times of crisis, he starts making mistakes. And he's going to end up losing. The person starts making mistakes. The Gaon brings him a Gemara about someone that was asking for tzedakah. He was the son of a very wealthy man. One day he went to see Rebbe. Rebbe told him, listen, I don't understand. What happened to all the wealth of your father? He said he lost it. He made the wrong investments. He lost it. Says the Gaon, this is the outcome of the chosech, of the stingy, of the one that calculates everything, that doesn't allow the chesed to kick in, the tzedakah to kick in, the involvement to kick in. The Malbim says, you know why he ends up losing? Because he's so stingy that he never interacts with anyone. Nobody wants to be close to him. Because he doesn't have a heart. The guy never wants to help anybody. So he gets isolated to the point where at the end, he's left alone and his wealth starts disappearing. We have a few psukim here that come to address the importance of being engaged practically through the influence of the Chokhmah and the Midot in the Midat HaEmet. And now it's exposed on Tzedakah. But when you have clarity of Midat HaEmet, not only that you do the right thing, but you're not scared of doing the right thing, even if it means to be uncomfortable. Because at the end, v'no saf'od. At the end, the beracha comes for sure. So, I think any questions?
I had this exact conversation with somebody last night, talking about someone who's in a very bad position financially, business, personal, family, everything. Like anything chas v'shalom that a person can imagine is wrong with this guy is wrong. He's going through it. Somebody who has nothing to do with him, no business, not business, is helping him financially, operations, everything. Runs a law firm. He's his lawyer now. It makes no sense why he's doing this. Absolute zero sense. I was trying to understand it yesterday. But really this is the sod. It really is. It's amazing.
Ashrecha. Kadosh Baruch Hu, רוצה שתהיה רעב. רצון ירעב יעשה. You asked a question, you wanted to understand something, Kadosh Baruch Hu sent it to you במקור החוכמה. Incredible.
Talking, try to understand it. It makes no sense. Well, this guy has nothing to do with him. He owes him nothing. He didn't do any business with him in the past.
טוב, בעזרת השם. שנזכה. You should never be in a situation like this where nobody really needs, בעזרת השם, and that, אבל זה הניסיון.
Once I was in a meeting and there's a guy asking a bracha for David Pinto. So
Yeah.
that he's completely broke in a crisis. He was very rich. He went to zero. But so the guy's crying, and the Rab says, "Okay, do you have money?" No, the only I have is $10,000 in my safe box. It's all I have, and I have kids. Okay, he said, give it in tzedakah. The guy says, "But you are crazy." He said, "The last thing I have." No, if you give this for tzedakah, you can do it. Everything will come back in time. I never understood it. He said, why did he take him to that position? And maybe it's this pasuk.
Very possible. Very possible. Yes.
And he came back.
Amazing.
I was there.
ונוסף עוד. I'll tell you another story like this with Rabbi Yaakov Bechsera. It's very famous, very famous. He came once in the house of, if I'm not, Rabbi Mes'ud Azerwal. Rabbi Mes'ud Azerwal, he didn't have much. Rabbi Yaakov, he was going to gather money for the yeshiva. Well, he came to Rabbi Mes'ud. Rabbi Mes'ud said, look, this is all I have. He took the few coins that he had, whatever he had, everything. His wife came and said, what, are you crazy? How are you going to eat Shabbat? No, the Chacham, I don't know. But here, this is it. Rabbi Yaakov told him, from now on, not you and none of your generation will need money. Okay? Hu Itzliach, his son became Ashir, and the grandson became Ashir, and the great-grandson, Baruch Hashem, are all living a good life. Baruch Hashem. Be'emet. Yes, those are moments in life where you're tested. And it's very difficult to give your last $10,000 when you don't know what's going to happen next, right? That's all there is. Kids, food.
Yeah, I went with a guy to the safe box. He was crying. He said, I know I have to do it, but I'm crying. Like,
yeah, venosaf od. You enter a dynamic of od where things just, it's more and more and more and more and more. In bracha, in atzlacha, in no.
oh Hashem. Thank you.
Besimcha, besorot tovot.
Amen.
So we
Amen.
just finished Kaf Dalet, right?
Abdallah.
Chazak.
Okay.
Tov.
Zach, thank you, Rabbi.